The customer pushed back on a creative concept because it was too different from the status quo within their industry. And to be honest, I was frustrated, but I also took this as a massive compliment because so much of advertising today is just a sea of sameness. It's literally the same thing. If you go from industry to industry, you're going to see almost identical executions when it comes to content and advertising, just with some slight variations by industry, right? So if you strip out the logos of a commercial or of a billboard or of an ad, you can almost tell with certainty within a couple of companies what the ad is for, what the billboard is for, whatever. So you know if it's they're trying to sell you a cell phone or you're watching an insurance commercial or whatever, right? And this is a huge problem because if everything is saying and sounding alike, then you're not really solving any customer problems with your content, which is what you should be doing, right? You should be identifying a customer problem and offering them a solution, whether that necessarily benefits your company or not immediately. In the long run, it will. So for the company who's paying for these ads, that's a bad thing. You sound just like everybody else. You might as well be everybody else. So as a consumer, there's no compelling reason for me to do business with you. So if you're trying to break out of white space, I was thinking about like, what does this mean? How do you do this on a regular basis if you don't want to be that company who, you actually want to be different, right? To quote Steve Jobs, think differently. I have his biography somewhere around here. How do you do that? Well, first of all, I think you need to identify and be able to communicate in a short, concise way what is inherently different about your message. Okay, so probably this isn't like a pricing or feature type of thing. This is like what is inherently different about the way you think about the customer's problem. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Our company, we have experience, we have the talent who has worked at the highest levels of our industry, who have worked with brands like the North Face, who have worked with brands at Georgia Pacific, Blue Cross, Miami Dolphins, uh, L'Oreal, right? The list goes on. And so we're able to take some of the expertise and the lessons learned of working for and with brand teams at that level and apply them to the mid market, the customers who we work for and below, frankly, right? Like a lot of people watching this, probably below. And so that is part of our value proposition. We know how to think at that level, but we want to apply it to people who don't always get to hear how people at that level think. There's lots of people who think at that level and aren't interested in this customer base. There's lots of people who are interested in this customer base and have never worked at the levels that we've worked at. So there's a unique selling point there, right? That's inherent to our message and to our mission. So how can I take that and say it in a concise and compelling way? That's number one. Number two, how can I take whatever that message is that you just identified to its most extreme while logical conclusion? Okay, so how can I take whatever it is that makes me different and push it creatively to its furthest extremes? So this could be things like, companies or individuals who believe that their founder is their true differentiator, and so they have a daily vlog around that founder, right? And they show every single day what it is that he's thinking and saying and doing. The reason to do that is because you believe that person is your differentiator. This could be the writer who knows she is better. She is actually better at her skill than anybody else in the industry. And so she writes every single day and publishes every single day for free in order to demonstrate the quality of her writing over someone else. It may not be something that's so voluminous. I don't know, you have to think about this, but how can you take that idea, that core concept, and stretch it to its most extreme, but its most logical conclusion? And then what are the tactical components that you can include to differentiate and when I'm saying tactical, if you're not watching the YouTube, I'm talking about like touchy feely type stuff, right? So these are things like touch, feel, smell, taste, see. Like you've seen this with billboards who they have the regular billboard, but then there's a piece hanging off that demands my attention because it doesn't fit within the normal billboard frame. uh, this is print ads. I love when brands do this. We've played with this a little bit recently. Print ads where the print ad is a page or half a page or whatever it is, the real estate allocated there, but 95% of it is just white space, right? And it's a stark contrast between everything else that's going on in that publication, all the writing, everyone trying to cram as many words as possible. And then these folks who are so confident in their message that they give 95% of it to white space. And then that remaining 5% just concisely and in a compelling way tells you what their value proposition is. Things like that. How can you find different tactical ways to play with the senses in order to differentiate? So the long and the short of it is there's a million different ways that you can do this, but as a brand, I challenge you to think about finding white spaces as opposed to being thinking of things as too differently and trying to fit into the sea of sameness.